folks, welcome back to another lesson. All these lovely patrons voted for this one. This is like a runner-up in a poll we had at Patreon a few months ago. So let's dive in with the tones. You need a fairly clean tone, so I've actually turned the actual gain down on my amp. So we have... And I've gone for the Kim Thale Polara because it's got a really lovely woody tone on the bridge pickup. Then you need some gain and a little bit of reverb as well. I'm also using a noise suppressor because without it, it sounds like this. And with it, it sounds like this. The reverb's mainly for the octave parts where you hear... And then for the chorus, I just turn the reverb off. Now the intro is played on an acoustic, but we're just using electric throughout. And there's a little bit of arpeggiation at the beginning, but let's just go through the chords very briefly. D sharp, power chord, C minor, G minor. But for the first two chords, you're also going to incorporate the sixth string with the fifth of each of those chords. So you're going to play 6, 6, 8, 8. And same here, you're going to do the C minor, but just extend your first finger there. And then like that. Okay, so over the intro you'll hear some arpeggiation. But the main part you're going to play is this. Now watching Daniel play this live, you'll see bars the 6th fret and then he just uses his 3rd and 4th fingers here. So you might hear that. That little 6th fret there on the B string ringing out. Don't worry if it does. If you don't really like it, then you can just aim for the low 4 strings, right? Okay, so the pattern's pretty straightforward. We have 1, 2, 3, whack, whack, change, 2, 3, whack, whack, and then we have this. On, off, whack, whack. All right? That stuff's just incidental as he's moving between the chords. So just get into the vibe of that rhythm, right? It's more just to kind of keep in time, really. So that's the main riff. One thing I meant to say, if you fret it like this, makes it a lot easier to move the chord shape. If you're going to play it like this, you've got to change like all your fingers pretty much, well, at least 3 fingers. If you sit like this, all you've got to do is apply 1 finger when you hit the 3rd fret. And then they all come off and then these two drop down 1 string. Put your gain and your reverb on and then we're going to go for this verse fill twice. It comes in on the 3 and. 1, 2, 3. So that's just octaves. Start on the 1st fret. And you go 1, 2, 3. And you slide all the way up to the 10th fret. That hangs over for an 8th note into the next bar, and then you slide up to the 11th. And then you go down to the 3rd fret. And you've played the 3rd fret, and then you do a very quick slide to the 5th. Alright, and then you play it around again. Then to go into the chorus we have... I mean, you could put the distortion on there if you wanted. It's basically a B flat sus2. You do it 4 times. Change to the F. Chorus is awesome, and I pondered what he's doing in the second chord for a long while, but I think what he's actually playing is this. Like that. Okay, so it goes around twice. Second time you just 1 bar of that rather than the 8th notes. First chord is an E major. So he's basically emphasising the 2nd and the 4th beat of each bar, okay? The second chord now, I wasn't sure about because I thought he did this. I thought he added his little finger there. Which is easier to do because then you're already there, right? So you could do that. You've also got that much time to add your little finger, so it's a nice easy change. But what I see him doing live is just moving 1 finger, and then when he goes to the A sus2, he moves both fingers. So I don't think he's doing... I don't think he's using his little finger there. But later on you will hear... stuff like that going on, right? So entirely up to you which you prefer the sound of. Or... you know, entirely up to you. But I'm going to stick with what I've tabbed. So, slowly we have... Now when I move to the A, my thumb does come over and just mutes that, so I can, you know, so I can strum all the strings and not worry about it, right? So a little pointer if you wanted to do that. And then the second time round we go... So we have 1 bar of the A sus2 rather than 2. And then we've got this little fill which goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Subtly different from the last time. We've got a couple of natural harmonics. And if we add a bit of reverb, they ring out loads more, so helps you along. Comes in on the 4 and, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're back into that, right? Which that's coming in on the 3 and. Then there's just keyboards, and you're going to cut out for like 4 bars, I think it is, but you come back in with this fill. And then there's this fill. Like that, okay? They can overlap, so where you'd be playing... So you'd come in there, right? Then into this again. Back into the chorus. This time though, you're going to do a bar of each. So it's... and there's often a at the end of each one. I think live he does that anyway. Not so sure on the album. The guitar's quite low in the mix. Next chorus, I think there's a slight variation in him actually sounding out the A minor that he goes to when he sings in that fourth bar, and then there's little fill as well, right? So let's do that. Just take the distortion off for a sec. So the first 3 bars are identical. But then we have so A minor for 3 8th notes. Move to the C. Down, up, down. Drop your second and third fingers down 1 fret, take your first finger off. Down, up, down, down. Okay? And you can put your little finger there if you want. If you want to play the full chord and you're worried about making it a G6. Or you can play, which sometimes he does live as well. But I would go for the open chords. They're quite nice, leading from the A minor. Then we're into this middle 8 section, which is awesome. More power chords on the A string with a 5th in the root. So we've got 3 3 5 5. Down, 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 up 2 frets. Same rhythm. And then we go up 2 frets again. But here we do a little diminished thing, right? So we're going to do 7, 8, 9. And again. And then the third time. I think he goes to the F. So we have, it's just an F power chord though, not a B flat with F in the bass, okay? Back up here. Distortion off, and then we have I think that is minor there, okay? So we've got B flat, F, E minor. Then you have 3 and a bit bars of rest. You're going to come back in with this. You already know that. Then we're into the outro chorus, so we go twice round this. Okay, so twice round that, third time. And that's how you end, okay? So third time is just... You let that ring out for a bar and a half. 1, 2. And then for the outro part, you'll hear... So it's minor to major. Hammer on, basically. Okay? And you finish on that A sus2. That's it. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you again soon.